Shilo Sanders offers package deal involving Coach Prime-Shedeur to $4.4 billion NFL side. Being the son of Deion Sanders and the brother of Shedeur Sanders gives you some of the perks other players won't even contemplate. A chance to sit at the top spot and a chance to get drafted in the top rounds, even though speculation points to you being a free agent or at best a late-round pick. This is how the case for Shilo Sanders is usually presented in the media. One brother is filling up page after page with headlines while the other one is struggling to overcome the obscurity of being a late-round pick at best. But don't believe everything you hear. Shilo Sanders, while not the star-studded player Shedeur is, still can be one of the most unexpected stories when the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, rolls in. Playing as a safety, the guy clocked in a 4.52-second 40-yard dash and was trolled for not being able to fulfill his father's target of 4.4 seconds. While the target was ambitious, a 4.52-second mark for safety isn't that bad. Mind you, if the shoulder injury hadn't plagued the guy's performance, he would have been one of the most exciting draft picks of the mid to initial rounds. But now it isn't the case. Still, Shilo has a savior to lean on at this time, too. And it's not Deion Sanders. Picture this. Deion Sanders is sitting with his three sons, Shilo, Shedeur, and Deion Jr. Shilo pulls his father's legs as he always does and remarks about rolling together with his brother Shedeur. We're a package deal, so we might package deal thing. We might bring Coach Prime in a few years too. To which Coach Prime replies, they ain't bringing me in nowhere. That's not happening. I'm going to bring them in somewhere. That's not going to happen. The package deal could become a reality too. The conversation, while hilarious and a treat to watch, does signal something here. Will Shilo be the package deal and join the New Orleans Saints, where Shedeur is heavily speculated to join? Although it may seem outside the realm of possibility, it can surely happen. The New Orleans Saints have 2 picks in the 3rd round, 4th round, and 7th round, making them holders of a total of 9 picks. This could see them taking in the services of Shilo in the later rounds and reuniting the brothers together in New Orleans. But there are more reasons to draft Shilo, too. The safety roster at Saints is quite thin as of now, and Kellen Moore would need to look for backups, possibly in the NFL draft. Tyrann Mathieu is a veteran, but is looking towards his last years as a player at 33. Then there is Jordan Howden and Jonathan Abram too, but these 2 players might not be the long-term option the team needs. This essentially means that the Saints could draft the safety as a backup, but for now, it's just very wild speculation. Shedeur Sanders going to the New Orleans Saints with Shilo? Now comes Shedeur Sanders' case, which is quite important too. Since, without Shedeur going to the Saints, there won't be any case for Shilo to begin with. The news of Saints drafting Shedeur was quite feeble initially and was echoed by some limited analysts and journalists. Now, the tables have wholly turned after it has been revealed that Derek Carr has suffered a shoulder injury this offseason and may even miss out the whole year. Athletic's Diana Rossini reported about the injury and Shedeur Sanders' chances. Even before Derek Carr's shoulder situation remained public, I'm told the Saints have been laser-focused on adding a quarterback to this draft. Moreover, another football insider, Chase Daniel, echoed in quite the same tune. Maybe it's they told Derek Carr's camp that, hey, we're taking a quarterback. Derek can be the starter for 1 more year, and then we're going to start this other rookie. This opens up a wide range of possibilities for Shedeur, who is currently in a state of uncertainty. The QB is highly regarded in the draft, but no one can say for sure where he will be headed. So, with the Saints' revelation and Derek Carr's injury, things do become interesting. Even Deion Sanders hinted at the Saints' 9th pick and reacted with an emoji to a post on X that read, "That 9th pick gonna be all kinds of interesting." With Coach Prime jumping in now, the speculation will touch the roof even more, and with Shilo's possibility added up, Coach Prime might be invested too much in the endeavor. NFL GM confirms 7,820-yard QB, leaving Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders in the dust after Giants' big announcement. If there's one thing with more mystique than a quarterback in the NFL draft, it's a quarterback flying under the radar. A sleeper pick. Every football fan will tell you they've seen an extensive film about them, are privy to every intricate detail of this player that's underground, still hidden from the mainstream. In reality, the extent of said film study is limited to a 4-minute highlight reel on YouTube. Everybody loves a sleeper QB, but this admiration is often from afar. No one really wants their favorite team to punt a draft pick on them. After all, there's got to be a reason they're being slept on, right? A flaw in their repertoire, or maybe a dearth of physical tangibles, a lack of arm strength, perhaps, or a small frame. Well, one quarterback has remained low-key despite possessing every tool in his arsenal. It has been reinforced multiple times and is well and truly baked into the draft discourse. But in case you weren't aware, this 25 quarterback class is relatively weak. Maybe not quantitatively, since there are a lot of intriguing names, but certainly qualitatively. Hardly any of them are viewed as franchise cornerstones or even long-term starters. If QB classes were a spectrum, the class of 25 is closer to 2022 than 2024, albeit not as bad as that one was. For context, Kenny Pickett was the first one off the board at 20th overall. In this iteration, Cam Ward has gained consensus first overall pick status pre-draft. While there is no consensus around him, Shedeur Sanders has largely been hailed as QB2. However, one NFL GM thinks this sleeper QB is a better pure passer than both those guys. Strap in, because the hype train is about to catch speed. Tyler Shaw, by no means, is a household name. Unless you're a Louisville fan or a football degenerate, you probably didn't know of him at the outset of this draft process. But Shaw announced himself to the world at the Combine down in Indy. Ever since, he's been gaining more and more traction. The odd shout out here, or rumor there. There are reasons why he's been flying under the radar all through his collegiate career until now, and we'll get to them. But he's making just enough noise for the important people, the decision makers, to take note. Slowly but surely, Tyler Shaw is rising out of his proverbial slumber and into the forefront. ESPN draft analyst Peter Schrager guested on The Pat McAfee Show and had a revelation about Tyler Shaw. He relayed something an NFL GM, veiled behind anonymity, told him about the signal caller. Although Schrager chose to leave the executive unnamed, the words were still very resounding. I spoke to a GM who I really trust and is really good. He's like, well, if you're looking for the best pure thrower of the football, it's Tyler Shaw, remarked Schrager. This isn't even a hyperbolic claim if you're aware of Shaw's game. But despite this acclaim, he's still trending towards being a day 3 pick. Maybe day 2 if the stars align in his favor, which they appear to be doing. Whoever this anonymous GM was, their opinions resonate with the Giants' brass. A big revelation has just spawned out of New York. Senior NFL insider Albert Breer has reported a development around Tyler Shaw and the Giants. For the longest time, the franchise appeared to be gearing towards drafting a QB with the 3rd overall pick. The aforementioned Shedeur Sanders was the primary target, considering he'd be the best one available when they're on the clock. However, their moves in free agency have afforded them more runway. Onboarding Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston means the Giants can forego drafting a quarterback in round 1. Go down the Tyler Shaw route instead, a low-risk, low-draft capital, but high-upside pick. Breer reports the Giants are holding a private workout with the player later this week. He'd be in the facility alongside Shedeur Sanders and their fellow contemporary Jalen Milroe. Why is Tyler Shaw rubbing shoulders with Deion Sanders' son and an Alabama QB? He belongs in that echelon. The proof is in the pudding. For starters, Tyler Shaw is 6 feet 5 inches. That already goes a long way in the NFL hive mind. His tape attests to his passing game being both beautiful and effective. A 4-star prospect out of high school, he has shared a QB room with Justin Herbert in college. But the timeline of events between that redshirt freshman year at Oregon and now is far from linear. You see, the overlooked name Tyler Shaw is actually synonymous with adversity. Adversity, he's risen above to get this far. Tyler Shaw's CFB career was a tryst with fate and hardship. Tyler Shaw's college football career saw him traverse 3 programs across 7 years. Coming out of high school, he thwarted offers from plenty of blue bloods to enroll at Oregon. After redshirting in 2018, Shaw was the backup to Herbert the following year. They say patience pays off. Well, his time to shine did come after paying his dues, but it coincided with COVID-19. That would be the first in a series of issues Shaw had to contend with in that phase of his life and career. He lost his spot at Oregon and transferred to Texas Tech. Here on, Shaw had recurring injuries to different parts of his body. In 3 years at Tech, he broke his collarbone, hurt his left shoulder,